This is my post-fight video for the Mayweather versus Cotto fight. And it was a pretty good fight. Mayweather won by unanimous decision, but Cotto actually made it pretty competitive in the mid-rounds. But basically, in the early rounds, Mayweather was dominating, landing more punches. He was throwing a lot of right hands, but it was in the mid-rounds where Cotto would get Mayweather trapped in the corner and land some good body shots. A lot of those shots were being blocked because you can tell that Mayweather was blocking with his shoulders and with his gloves, but some of those punches were getting through. You know, Cotto was landing some good shots, and Cotto did a good job with his jab tonight. He was catching Mayweather a lot with that jab, and he had Mayweather bleeding from the nose. And it's been a long time. I ain't seen Mayweather bleed in years. Last time I seen Mayweather bleed was one of the early fights that he had when Roger Mayweather had took over as his cornerman, as his trainer. But other than that, though, this is the first time I've seen Mayweather bleed in a fight in years. But then Mayweather made adjustments, and he started to dominate the late rounds, and he hurt Miguel Cotto with an uppercut in the 12th round. Almost knocked him down, but Miguel Cotto was able to survive that last round. But it was a pretty good fight. This fight kind of had a little bit of drama. It was, I mean, Mayweather definitely won, but Mayweather did look kind of vulnerable. So it makes you wonder, is Mayweather's age getting to him? Maybe. I mean, Mayweather is 35, and you know, maybe he's just starting to slow down just a little bit. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna say, because I'm comparing this fight with the fight that Cotto had to Pacquiao, and I mean, you can see a lot of differences between these two fights. I mean, it's obvious that Pacquiao is a more dangerous puncher compared to Mayweather, because Pacquiao's punches did more damage to Miguel Cotto compared to Mayweather. Now, Mayweather did mark up Miguel Cotto's face a bit, but it wasn't nowhere near as bad as Cotto's face looked in the Pacquiao fight. Now, I will say Miguel Cotto's defense has gotten better. I mean, he was still getting hit a lot, but he was able to block a lot of Mayweather's shots. So, you know, I have seen some improvement in Cotto's defense. But when Pacquiao fought Cotto, that fight, I mean, Pacquiao dominated Cotto. Mayweather, he kind of dominated Cotto too, but Pacquiao's domination was bigger compared to Mayweather. But that just goes to show you that styles make fights. I mean, because Pacquiao is a volume puncher. He's going to throw a lot more punches compared to Mayweather. And Mayweather is a pure defensive boxer. But to me, it looked like, you know, Mayweather did struggle a bit. And like I said, I don't know, maybe his age is catching up to him a little bit. Then, you know, this fight did take place at 154, which is Miguel Cotto's more comfortable fighting weight, whereas the Pacquiao fight was at a catch weight. It was at 145. So that does play a factor into how Miguel Cotto performed stamina-wise. But, you know, Mayweather got the victory. I still think that if Pacquiao and Mayweather was to fight, it would be a good competitive fight. And I think that Pacquiao might potentially give Mayweather some serious problems. But I don't think Pacquiao will be able to knock out Mayweather. It will go to decision. But like I said, it was a good fight tonight. You know, it was worth the money because I ordered that fight on pay-per-view. And you know, Mayweather wins by unanimous decision. Oh, and before I end this video, I gotta give props to Shane Mosley. Even though he lost tonight, he fought like a warrior. He didn't run. did a pretty good job landing body shots against Canelo and landing some pretty good hard shots to the head. But the main problem I have with Mosley, he does not have a jab. I mean, it's just that little pity pat jab, and he's only just using that just to gauge his distance. He's not really using it as an effective punch, and that's always been a big hole in his game, is that he never had a jab. If he would have had a good jab tonight, he probably could have gave Canelo some serious problems, but Canelo was just too strong. Plus, he's a lot younger. He's young, 21 years old. You know, Mosley's 40 years old. But still, I got to give props to Mosley. Even though he lost tonight, he did fight like a warrior. So, you know, I got to give him props for that. So, it was a good night of fights, and that's all I got to say about that.